In this video, I want to go over solving equations with rational exponents. So there's something, these problems are pretty simple, but there's something to note, and it's on the right here. If the numerator is even, you have to put this plus or minus here, okay? So you're going to solve these by just raising both sides to the reciprocal of m over n, so that's n over m. So you're taking if you remember your properties of exponents, if I have x to the n over m, that's equivalent to taking the nth root of x to the n, okay? So what you're doing is you're taking an even root. And if you remember from the quadratic formula and lessons before this, when you take an even root, you have to put this plus minus here. Okay, this is even. And that's because I'll erase this really quick, and that is because if you're taking something like 2 times 2 or negative 2 times negative 2, that equals 2 squared or negative 2 squared, they're both equivalent to 4. So when you take the square root of 4, you have to put that plus and minus because you lost a little bit of information. You lost the fact that the answer could have a negative there. So that's why we have to cover our bases and put this plus minus in the problem. However, when you take if m is odd, like the case on the right here, we're going to take a reciprocal, an odd reciprocal, okay? We're going to take that m is an odd number, so say it's 3. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is a negative 8. So what happens is it keeps its sign, right? This turns into a positive, and this is a negative. A negative times a positive is a negative. So that's why when the numerator is even, we have to put that plus or minus, but we do not when the numerator is odd. Okay, let me erase this, and we can go through this example problem. So I have x to the 3/2 is equal to 8. Okay, well, all I have to do is raise both sides to the reciprocal of 3/2, which is 2/3. Okay, on the left we have just an x. On the right, okay, think about this. We have 8 to the 3rd power, the cubed root of 8 to the 2nd power. So this cube root, it's an odd root. Again, we don't have to worry about the plus and minus, because if we look back to our original, this 3 was odd, okay? And if we just, we can solve this. The cube root of 8 is 2. 2 squared is 4, okay? No plus minus. Next. Okay, here it's a little bit different. Actually, to show you, no, we'll keep it like this. Okay. So here, I have x to the negative 4th to the 2/3 power. Now, we have an even numerator, so we're going to have to put that plus and minus in. We're going to raise both sides to the 3/2 power. Okay, on the left, we have just an x minus 4. On the right, we have the square root of 16 to the 3rd power. So, okay, we can take that square root, but we have to remember, we have to put that plus and minus. This is a square root that we're taking, an even root. Okay, so we have x minus 4 is equal to plus minus. Well, the square root of 16 is 4. 4 cubed is 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. Okay, we're almost done. We just have to add 4 to both sides. And these are our two answers. We have x is equal to 4 plus 64, which is 68. And 4 minus 64, which is a negative 60. Okay. So these are our two answers. The two answers come from the fact that this numerator was a 2, an even number, so we had to put that plus minus in there. Next example, a little bit harder. Okay, we have x squared minus 3x plus 3 raised to the 3/2 power minus 1. Okay, so we have to just do some cleanup here by adding 1 to both sides first, and then we can take that reciprocal. Okay, here we are. We're going to raise this to the 2/3 power. Again, looking at this numerator, it's cubed, it's even, we're good. So, on the left we have x squared minus 3x plus 3. Oops, forgot to write that we're taking this 1 to the 2/3 power as well. Okay, is equal to, well, this is a nice easy problem. 1 to any power is what? It's 1. Okay, so this is a pretty simple one. We're just going to get two answers. We'll set this thing equal to 0. Oops. Plus 2 is equal to 0. I think that this is going to factor into 1 and 2, both negatives. That works out. Okay, and then our answers are x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 1. And again, the reason why this has two answers is not because of our fractional exponent, but it's because of this squared thing here. Okay, I hope this helps.